Hey Vision Chasers, this is Dr. Byrd here along with Louie with a social studies lesson for you today. Now today's lesson is regarding a comment question that I received, and the question is this: what do you think would have happened had the United States lost the Mexican-American War? Now that's a really interesting question. And so let's tackle it. So I'm going to answer that question, but first let's talk about what the Mexican-American War was. In 1821, this is what the United States looked like. As you can see here, much of the land in the West is owned by Mexico. White slave-owning settlers continue to pour into Texas as a result of land grants given by Mexico. One of the most successful of these settlers / farmers was Stephen F. Austin. Now you should recognize that last name. He owned over 4,000 acres of Mexican territory in Texas. Eventually there were more English-speaking Europeans in Texas than anyone else living in the territory. This would prompt Austin to petition the Mexican president to allow Texas to govern itself. Mexico would refuse this petition, and this would spark Texas's battle for independence from Mexico. Mexico would lose and Texas would be free. Now Mexico would be at odds against the United States over adding Texas to the Union. Once Texas joined the Union, the Mexicans were upset, and President Polk realized an opportunity to add more territory to the United States. So Polk gave the military orders to provoke the poorly organized Mexicans into war. Now, as a result of their poor leadership and poor organization, Mexico would lose this war and the United States would gain additional territory. Now, as for the question that was posed to me, I believe first off that the United States, they had no chance of actually losing this war because the Mexicans were so poorly trained and they were not ready for this fight. They had a lack of leadership and a lack of organization, as I mentioned before. But I would say that if the United States actually did lose that war, I think another president would have come along and tried to take that land from Mexico. Now, if you recall, it was around this time as well that Manifest Destiny, that was really prompting people to go west, and they felt that God ordained the United States to stretch from east to west coast. And so I believe that in the name of Manifest Destiny, someone else would have come along and said, we've got to take that land. God has given that land to us. I also think that another president, or maybe even Polk, would have tried again very soon, because as the Mexican-American War was coming to a close, gold was actually discovered in California. And lastly, at this time, the Civil War was continuing to brew between the North and South. So the Southern slave owners, they would have wanted that land, that Mexican land, to be added to the United States as well, because that would have benefited them in Washington, D.C. So they would have had more representation on the part of the slave owners in Congress. Well, I hope that answers your question, sir. It's a really good question, and I appreciate that question. And for the rest of you, please keep those questions coming. Anything you want me to address on this channel, I'm happy to do it, as it relates to social studies, of course. Well, that's it for the day. Please check the Vision Chasers website for more tips and tools to help you. Also, download the worksheet that goes along with this video to further your understanding of the Mexican-American War. Well, thank you so much for watching, and please keep chasing the vision. I'm Dr. Byrd, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.